Good morning, English 2. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. We are going to today continue on in Act 3. Hopefully, maybe we'll get it done. I wanted to just real quickly look. Remember, I said I wanted you to finish Scene 2, just reading it yesterday. And we want to look specifically. Remember, Brutus yesterday gave a speech to the crowd about why Caesar had to die. And then remember, Antony after also gave a speech, right? For quote, Caesar's funeral. And during the speech, remember, Antony really stirred the pot, right? And upset. When I say upset, I mean intentionally kind of upset and stirred the citizens where they're like, Caesar should not have died, right? And they got very, very angry at the conspirators, okay? So in the module, I'm on slide 4 of 7. In the module, it asks you to look at at Brutus's speech, okay? And at Mark Antony's speech and find which appeals they're using. Okay? So I'm going to let you do that on your own, okay? You can go in on slide 4 of 7 and go through. Uh-oh. Well, once you go in, you guys will see it. You can roll over, okay, to look at the different appeals. I don't know why Buzz is giving me a little bit of a hard time, okay? So then we're going to continue on. Well, maybe we're not going to continue on. Hang on. Pause. See what happens. I just looked at it. There we go. Okay. So you can click in back through the speeches. You can roll over. There we go. You can roll over and see the different types of appeals. Okay. I'm going to let you do that part on your own. Just because I want us to be able to get through reading the further scenes. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are in Act 3. We're going to go into Scene 3 so we can get this finished up. It's pretty short. All right. So remember, at the end of Scene 2, okay, we know that Octavius has officially arrived in Rome and that he was at Caesar's house. We know that Mark Antony was heading over there. And we know the crowd was real ticked off with the conspirators, right? They were upset about what happened with Caesar. And I think things are going how Mark Antony kind of wants them, right? And how he set it up. So let's see what happens in the final scene. So Cinna the poet enters, followed by the citizens. He says, I dreamed last night that I feasted with Caesar, and unlucky signs overwhelmed my imagination. I have no desire to go outside, yet something leads me there. One of the citizens says, what's your name? And then another one's like, where are you going? Where do you live? Are you a married man or a bachelor? Answer all of us now. The other one's like, yes, be brief, and yes, be wise. Yes, and be truthful if you know what's good for you. He says, what's my name? Where am I going? Where do I live? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer every man briefly, wisely, and truthfully. Wisely, I say, I am a bachelor. The other one says, you imply that married men are fools. You'll get a blow from me for that, I think. Go on with what you were saying right this instant. It says, right this instant, I'm going to Caesar's funeral. Remember, because the citizens are trying to find the conspirators. The first citizen again says, as a friend or an enemy? So are you going to visit Caesar's funeral because you liked him, or you're going to like rejoice in his death, right, as an enemy? He says, as a friend. One of the citizens says, he answered that question straight. He says, as for where you live, tell us quickly, get to the point. And it says, getting right to the point, I live near the capital. He says, tell us your name, sir, truthfully. He says, truthfully, my name is Cinna. One of the citizens, because remember, they're looking for conspirators, says, tear him to pieces. He's a conspirator. And he says, I am Cinna the poet. I am Cinna the poet. Like, this is who I am. He's kind of yelling like, as in like poets, people really liked poets. They thought back then that was like their form of entertainment. You know, they were a fairly like respected citizen. You know, people didn't just go around killing them. And another one says, tear him apart for his bad verses. Tear him apart. And he says, I am not a conspirator, sir. And he says he doesn't matter. His name, Cinna, pull only his name out of his heart and let him go. And it says, tear him apart, tear him up. And everyone's yelling, come, firebrands, over here to Brutus's, to Cassius's, burn them all. Some of you go to Decius's house, and some to Casca's, and some to Ligarius. Go! So we know that now what? Oh, we know that there is going to be chaos, right? Remember that when Mark Antony was like kind of talking to Caesar in that quiet moment, right? He says, forgive me for being friends, like with your enemies or your conspirators. Forgive me for being nice to them. But he was worried. Mark Antony says, I'm worried there's going to be like civil unrest, right? And at the end of Act 3, that is exactly what we are seeing, is that unrest. Okay? So let's come back over here. All right. It says I'm on slide 6 to 7. It says the last scene of Act 3 is brief and serves to show the crowd, how the crowd is turned against everyone. You guys know this. Notice it says that a man named Cinna the poet has arrived in town to attend Caesar's funeral. When the citizens hear his name is Cinna, they at first believe he is Cinna the conspirator. But is this person a conspirator? No. Okay, same name, different person though. That's why he was saying, like, I'm a poet, like, why are you doing this? He was very confused, right? And the people just know the name, and they are like, whatever, this is, your name is attached to this, whether this is you or not, and they are gonna, like, kill him, right? And then obviously it says this exchange shows that the crowd is angry with the conspirators and Brutus is likely in danger. Well, we know that, right, from reading it. And it says, why did the Roman crowd turn against Brutus? Well, why do you guys think? Who, again, used words of persuasion, right, in their speech, intent? One of Caesar's really good friends, right? Mark Antony, quite a bit, really intentionally, right, gave away who the conspirators were and what